So in this video, I'll explain payment of dividend. Okay, so to whom the company has to pay dividend, when the company has to pay dividend, and how the company has to pay dividend. So first question is, to whom the dividend shall be paid? To whom the dividend shall be paid? First question is, to whom the dividend shall be paid? Okay, so first one, to whom dividend shall be paid? To whom dividend shall be paid? So the first question. So there are three persons to whom we can pay the dividend. So first person is a registered shareholder. A registered shareholder. So what is meant by registered shareholder, or who can be called as registered shareholder? A person whose name is entered in, a person whose name is entered in register of members. A person whose name is entered in where? A person whose name is entered in a register of members maintained by the company. Register of members maintained by the company, or register records of beneficial owners maintained by depository. Register of members maintained by company, or records of beneficial owner maintained by depository. So in case of physical shares and in case of demat shares, when the shares are in physical form, this will be applicable. When the shares are in demat form, this will be applicable. Okay, a person whose name is entered, where the person name is entered, if the shares are in physical form, in the register of members maintained by the company. If the shares are in demat form, in the records of beneficial owner maintained by the depository. Okay, when that person name should have been entered on the records as on the record date, as on the record date, as on the record date. So entered, registered shareholder means name entered. Registered shareholder means name entered. So where to be entered, on when to be entered. Okay, so where that name to be entered in the register. If the shares are in physical form, the name should be entered in the register of members maintained by the company. If the shares are in demat form, the name should have been entered in records of beneficial owner maintained by depository, as on the record date. As on the record date. Record date is the cutoff date or relevant date. Cutoff date or relevant date important for payment of dividend. So this is the registered shareholder, first category, to whom the dividend will be paid. And next, second category to whom the dividend will be paid, to the banker of registered shareholder, to the banker of registered shareholder, to the banker of registered shareholder. So here the word banker means some collecting agent appointed by the registered shareholder. Some collecting agent designated by, some collecting agent appointed by registered shareholder. Some collecting agent appointed by registered shareholder, who will collect dividend amount on behalf of the shareholder. Some collecting agent appointed by registered shareholder. And third category, to whom the dividend will be paid. And the third category is to any other person, to any other person, to any other person, as directed by registered shareholder, as instructed by, as specified by registered shareholder. To any other person as specified by registered shareholder. To any other person as specified by registered shareholder. Any other person as specified by registered shareholder. So this person may be, example, transferee. When A transferred shares to B, A may give instructions to the company to pay dividend to B. Okay, or dependent parents, or dependent parents, or dependent parents, or charitable society, or charitable entity. So I am holding the shares. But I have given an instruction to the company saying that, sir, whatever the dividend you declare, please please transfer my dividend amount to the charitable trust. Okay, so I can give that kind of instructions also. So these are the three category of persons to whom dividend shall be paid: to the registered shareholder, to the banker of registered shareholder, or to any other person as specified by registered shareholder. Okay, right. This is the two to whom the dividend has to be paid. And next question is, how the dividend to be paid. So how the dividend should be paid. Okay, to whom dividend to be paid? Three persons: registered shareholder, okay, registered shareholder, or to the banker of registered shareholder, or to any other person as specified by registered shareholder. So how dividend shall be paid? How dividend shall be paid? Okay, how dividend shall be paid? So dividend shall be paid in two forms. Dividend is of two forms. Okay, what are the two forms of dividend? Monetary dividend and stock dividend. Monetary dividend and stock dividend. Okay, monetary dividend and stock dividend. Two types of dividend will be there. Okay, monetary dividend and stock dividend. Monetary dividend, how the monetary dividend will be paid? So monetary dividend will be paid in various forms. Okay, monetary dividend will be paid in various forms. That is to say, cash or check. Okay, cash or check or dividend warrant, cash or check or dividend warrant, or electronic transfer, online banking, internet banking. Okay, so nowadays most of the people are using this electronic transfer rather than posting checks, cash, etc. So these are the, as per that, these are the four permitted methods: cash, check, dividend warrant, and electronic transfer. And how the stock dividend will be paid? So stock dividend will be paid in two forms. Stock dividend will be paid in two forms: conversion of existing partly paid shares into fully paid shares, conversion of existing partly paid shares, conversion of existing partly paid shares into fully paid shares without receiving any amount from a shareholder, without receiving any amount from shareholder. Okay, conversion of existing partly paid shares into fully paid shares without receiving any amount from a shareholder, or issue of new fully paid bonuses, issue of new fully paid bonuses, issue of new fully paid bonuses, issue of new fully paid bonuses without receiving any amount from shareholder, issue of new fully paid bonuses without receiving any amount from shareholders. So this is how the dividend can be paid. There are two types of dividend: monetary dividend and stock dividend. Okay, monetary dividend four forms: cash, check, dividend warrant, electronic transfer. But nowadays most of the companies are using electronic transfer only. And stock dividend you can pay in two forms: conversion of existing partly paid shares into fully paid shares without receiving any amount from shareholders, issue of new fully paid bonus shares without receiving any amount from shareholders. This is how the dividend has to be paid. Next, consequence of non-payment. So when the dividend has to be paid? So dividend to be paid within 30 days of declaration. So when to pay dividend? So when to pay dividend? So dividend should be paid within 30 days of declaration of dividend. Okay, within 30 days of declaration. Within 30 days of declaration. Within 30 days of declaration, dividend has to be paid. Within 30 days of declaration, dividend has to be paid. Next, consequences if dividend is not paid. Okay, consequences if dividend is not paid. Consequences if dividend is not paid within 30 days. Consequences if dividend is not paid within 30 days. So if dividend is not paid within 30 days, what is the consequences? Punishment will be attracted. Okay, what is the consequences? Punishment will be attracted. If dividend is not paid within 30 days, punishment will be attracted. So what is the punishment? Directors. Okay, directors. So what is the directors punishment? They have to suffer imprisonment, jail. Okay, so director has to suffer imprisonment. If the dividend is not paid within 30 days, directors has to suffer imprisonment. They have to go to jail. So that is imprisonment. Okay, imprisonment. Directors has to suffer imprisonment. And in addition to that, what the directors should do? Directors has to pay fine to the government. Directors has to pay fine to the government. Okay, this is the punishment for the directors. This is the punishment for the directors. Next, company. So what the company should do? Company has to pay interest to the shareholders at the rate 18% per annum. Interest to shareholders at the rate 18% per annum. Interest to the shareholders at the rate 18% per annum. So the dividend is not paid within 30 days. This is the consequences: punishment, imprisonment, and fine to the directors, and company has to pay interest to the shareholders at the rate 18% per annum. Now, what are the exemptions? Are there any exemptions from punishment? Yes. Okay. Is there any? What are the exemptions available from punishment? What are the exceptional cases? What are the exceptional cases when punishment, under which punishment is not attracted? What are the exceptional cases under which punishment is not attracted? What are the exceptional cases under which punishment is not attracted? What are the exceptional cases under which punishment is not attracted? So there are many exceptional cases when punishment is not attracted. So first one, dividend is not paid due to legal restrictions. 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 Second thing is, dividend is not paid due to legal disputes. Dividend is not paid due to legal disputes. Dividend is not paid due to legal disputes. Sir, what is the difference between legal restrictions and legal disputes? So legal restrictions is imposed by government. legal restrictions imposed by government, legal disputes raised by parties, legal disputes raised by parties. Okay, so parties to the issue, that is to say shareholders, family disputes, etc. So these are the dividend is not paid due to legal restrictions, or dividend is not paid due to legal disputes. Another situation when the dividend is not paid. Okay, company is unable to comply with the shareholder gave instructions to the company regarding how to pay the dividend. Shareholder gave instructions to the company regarding how to pay dividend. Regarding how to pay dividend, shareholder has given instructions to the company regarding how to pay dividend, but some error, some mistake in that restrictions, some error or mistake in that restrictions, but some error or mistake in such instructions, but there is some error or mistake in such instructions. Okay, company is unable to follow those instructions. Company is unable to follow those instructions. So because of that mistake, company is unable to follow those instructions, and company has communicated, company has informed such mistake to the shareholders. Company has informed such mistake to the shareholders. Okay, so shareholder gave instruction to the company regarding how to pay dividend, but some error or mistake is there in the instruction. Company is unable to follow those instructions, and company has informed such mistake to the shareholders. So in this case, dividend punishment will not be attracted. Next, fourth case, when the punishment is not attracted. Okay, when dividend amount is adjusted, dividend is adjusted by the company, dividend is adjusted against the amount, dividend payable by the company, dividend payable by the company is adjusted against the amount payable by the shareholder, amount payable by the shareholder. Okay, dividend payable by the company, dividend payable by the company is adjusted against the amount payable by the shareholder. Say for example, so company has to pay dividend to shareholder, company has to pay dividend to shareholder, and shareholder has to pay call money to the company, shareholder has to pay call money to the company. Both can be adjusted, both can be adjusted or set off, both can be adjusted or set off. Okay, so these are all basics about the payment of dividend. Okay, so where to whom the dividend has to be paid, to the registered shareholder or to the banker of registered shareholder or to any other person as specified by registered shareholder. How dividend shall be paid, monetary dividend or stock dividend, when to pay dividend within 30 days of declaration, consequences if dividend is not paid within 30 days, director imprisonment and fine, company interest, and what are the exceptional cases under which punishment is not attracted, legal restrictions, legal disputes, error or mistake in instructions, legal restrictions, legal disputes, error or mistake in the instructions, error or mistake in instructions, adjusted against other amount due from the shareholder, adjusted against other amount due from the shareholder. So this is all about the basics of payment of dividend. Okay, thank you.